All right, welcome back to another episode of Deep Within the Man Cave. Hope everyone's having a good day and had a great weekend. Finally getting nice outside, so hopefully everyone is well and taking care of themselves and spending some time outside. So tonight I want to talk about. I'm going to touch base on two things. I know I've brought them up in the past, but I keep finding that they are reoccurring in my life. And now that I know how to deal with it, the outcome is, and stress levels are so much easier. So hopefully this can help somebody who's having a rough time right now. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is gratitudes. Now I know I mention this almost every video, but gratitudes are very important, and they can maybe open your eyes to things that you didn't realize that were good in your life, or open possibilities. So the way I do my gratitudes is every night before I go to bed, I have a notepad on my nightstand, and I write everything I'm grateful for that happened that day. And I start off with waking up in the morning. Grateful for my coffee in the morning, because some days I don't know how you actually wake up if you don't have coffee. But the more things that you're grateful for, and you can find things to be grateful for. They don't have to be big things, they can be small things, like the way your dog crawls on you when it's time to go for a walk, and he's letting you know because you slept in the day before. Yes, this happened, and my 70-pound lap dog decided that sleeping in wasn't a good idea. So while I was having breakfast, he decided he would come and lay on top of me to let me know that he was still there and that we should hurry up and go for a walk. So, and he was just being goofy, and I got extra cuddles with him, goofed around with him, played with him a little more that day, and just grateful how much he brings to my life and how much he means to me and my family. So it can be something like that. It can be that you got a promotion at work, or you're just, in my case, when my boys are with me, I am grateful that they are with me at home, and that I get to see them every day and tuck them into bed every day and goof around with them in those days, because when they're not here, when they're at their mother's house, it's I get a phone call or a text message at bedtime. And that's my communication with my boys. And I'm grateful for that, because quite often the messages are goofy and quite funny. So, like, those things I am grateful for. Now, the more of these things you can find in your day that you're grateful for, whether it's a stranger saying hi or opening the door at the store for you, or I had a conversation about the hockey game with a guy at Home Depot the other day, which was awesome. It's kind of nice to actually talk to people now that we're all so closed off. It was nothing. I don't know the guy's name or anything like that, but it was like a 3-minute conversation about the hockey game, and yeah, carried on. So gratitudes can be a number of things, and the more you realize and look for these things that you're actually grateful that happen, the more you actually discover. Now, on average, and it's like, this is never a contest or something like that, on average, on a day where I don't do much, I'm not working, or I don't have the boys and I'm in the house, all day, whether it's freezing outside or I just don't have the motivation to get up off my ass. You know, on those days, phone calls with friends. I mean, I average 29, 30 things I'm grateful for every day. Now, a lot of them are repeats, but that doesn't matter. There's still things that I'm grateful for, like having my morning coffee and toast with my dog and him trying to steal it. Those things I look forward to in the morning because I know it's going to happen every day. So it's something that I get to, you know, it helps me move on. It's something that I get to look forward to. Hanging out with my dog, him being a dog and trying to steal my food and barking at plastic bags going outside the front yard and stuff like that, you know. Those are things you get to look forward to. And recently I've been trying to keep my eyes open and seeing things and trying to be grateful for more things, or looking for things to be grateful. And like the last 3 to 4 days, I've constantly hit 38, 39. Haven't broke over 40 in a day yet, but it'll happen. Because when you are grateful and you live a grateful life and you look for these things, more things happen. Gratefulness attracts more gratefulness, are more things to be grateful for, more opportunities. You're out of your negative mindset. So, I mean, gratitudes can be anything, and they're different for everyone. And yeah, if you write them down, I do it the last thing I do before bed. So that reminds me of all the great things that happened that day before I close my eyes, and that puts me in a good mood. You know, it takes away any negative stuff that I've been maybe thinking with or struggling with, and it allows me to focus on the good things that have happened that day, and then that's what you go to sleep with positivity. So it's easier to go to sleep, you don't stay awake, and then when you sleep better, you feel better. And then, so that's the one thing. So write down your gratitudes. It doesn't matter how many you have. You might have 2. Write them down. Pretty soon you get more and more and more. And the more grateful you are, the more gratitude you have, the more come. The more opportunities for things open up. And it sort of takes over your subconscious, relieves the negativities. So, you know, if I've had a stressful day and I'm walking the dog by the pond, you know, sometimes just the sun, the warmth of the sun is something I'm grateful for, because we all know winter is just around the corner. I know I said it. You can hate me if you want to, but this is Edmonton and Alberta, so who knows? Hopefully I'm wrong, but you never know. Anyways, so that's gratitudes. I encourage everyone to write them down, and look for things, you know, every day. And, you know, go out of your way, you know, open doors for somebody, because maybe they're doing the same thing. You know, say hello to them. If you're outside walking or mowing your lawn or whatever like that, say hi, because you might be on their gratitude list if they're doing it. So, yeah. So that, always write down your gratitudes, be grateful, and more things come when you're grateful to be grateful for. And it's quite amazing. And it all sort of seems to come at once, which is, it's almost like a floodgate opens up when you've reached this point where you're like actually looking for things to be grateful for and living gratefulness. Floodgates open and you actually realize that there is way more. So your life might be hard. You might be going through a rough time or something like that. But look around, and I'm sure you'll find things to be grateful for. And my second thing was, I wanted to talk about was stressing over things that you don't have control over. Now, I know, especially with my anxiety and a lot of people's anxiety, it's stressing over something that either hasn't happened or could happen, or what's the worst case scenario, whatever like that. And I'm by all means not lessening anxiety. I mean, I suffer from it. A lot of my family has it, and it is no joke. I am considering myself one of the luckier ones where I do not have it as severe as some of my family. And I wish it didn't exist for everyone. It's quite crippling, or it can be quite crippling if it's not dealt with. And it's sometimes hard to deal with. But one thing I found, and I actually heard this on a TV show that I was watching the other day, about it was a construction show about building and having to be shut down due to the pandemic and things being shut down in the States and all this stuff, and then reopening and closing all down and stuff like that. But the lead builder on this place, he invested a ton of money in this thing, and spending money, hadn't opened up this project yet, and he kept getting shut down. People get sick, but he can't control that, and he realized that that's something that he can't control, and he can only control what he does in this situation. And it got me thinking about how you can't control what somebody else is going to do. So the only thing you can control is yourself and your actions. So if you worry about what you're doing and not worry about how somebody responds to something, or how like how they react or whatever, because you can't control that. And I mean, you might not like the way they react or something like that, but that could be a whole different issue that can be solved somewhere else. But if you worry about yourself, only have expectations of yourself, and not worry what you can't control, like you can't control the weather, you can't control this pandemic, you can't control the economy, and all this stuff is scary as hell. I mean, especially now with this pandemic, it's scary and it's crazy, but you can only control your actions, not what somebody else does, not what the weather does and all that stuff. So if you can understand that and realize that, you'll figure it out when something happens, if it happens, and that you can't control it, but it will be okay. Things might be hard, things have to change, whatever. Like, there's things that have to be done, but there's no sense in worrying about it or worrying about what somebody else is going to do or say until it happens. Now, it's definitely a skill that you have to work on. Am I there yet? Absolutely not. But I'm recognizing situations that I can't control, and it's out of my control. So I'm tending not to worry about it until the ball's in my court or something like that. So it's definitely a skill, and it needs to be practiced like every day, kind of thing. But concentrate on what you can control and what you're doing, and then once you get that idea on stuff like that, your anxiety, like for me, my anxiety was, or part of it is traveling and money and all this stuff. I can't help it if I can't fly the airplane, say, and I'm getting nervous on airplanes. I have to trust that the pilot is a good pilot, and he wouldn't be working for whoever he's working for if he wasn't. I can't control the airplane, and even if I did get in the cockpit, I'm probably the last person you want, because I'm kind of a gearhead and a speed nut. So those oxygen masks would be coming down. But anyways, I can't control that. What I can control is, if I know it's going to be rough and I'm going to have anxiety, I can take my meds or something like that, or I can find a different route, something that is not so stressful. I can, like, I'm in charge of me. No one else is in charge of me. No one else is in charge of you. So no one else can control what you do. Only you can. So if you can look at it like that, and it does take practice, that helps immensely. And try it on little things, and the more and more you try it and go for it, the easier it comes. And this TV show reminded me of me trying to make a purpose of only controlling my actions and not controlling what other people are thinking, feeling, whatever. I can control my actions. What they do is up to them. And I don't have to like it or not, but then the ball's in my court, and then I can react. Or not react, or whatever. So try it out, try it on things, be open-minded to it, and things will get easier, and it does ease your anxiety and your stress level. It's quite relieving. It's like a weight off your shoulder. And like anything, the more you do it, the more you get control of it, the easier it becomes. And pretty soon you can avoid things that trigger your anxiety, trigger your stress, or whatever. Avoid these situations, and that's something that you can control. But first of all, you have to learn what it is that is causing you to react in certain ways that is out of your control. So practice that. Practice your gratitudes. Remember to be kind to everyone. If you have any comments or questions, or want any topics that you want me to cover, please leave me a message, leave a comment. And if you don't want to leave it on YouTube, you can private message me at deepwithinthemancave@gmail.com, and I will get back to you. Remember, be kind to everybody. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they're dealing with, especially now. Take care of each other and enjoy being outside, and look for things to be grateful for. And until next week, talk to you then. Bye.